fam. Welcome to Thursday, April 16th, day 4 of our daily mantras as part of the Hope is Contagious tour with H&H. I'm so happy you're here today. We're going to focus on our breathing, do our stretching, and then do our daily mantra. And we're going to jump right in. So I'll coach you guys just a little bit throughout it since our 4th day. I feel like some people have the hang of it, but for anybody who's new, not used to this, I'm going to do a little bit of coaching, but for the most part, try to stay quiet. All right, get settled into a nice comfortable seated position. Hands on your knees or wherever is comfortable for you. Palms up or down, either way. Let your shoulders drop. Align your back up, each vertebra stacked on each other, straight up, shoulders down. And pretend there's a string that's pulling your head up to the ceiling. And begin our breathing. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Reminder, our breath is through our nose all the way to the top of our breath as high as we can get it, and hold for a couple of seconds. And then let go, release, breathe out, and actively push out all of the air that's in your lungs to the very end. And back in. Through your nose, deep, 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 long breaths, and try to hold it at the top of your breath for 2 seconds or as long as you can, and then release out your mouth. Blow out of your mouth. Push against your diaphragm. Empty out your lungs and breathe in. And while you're focusing on actively breathing, by breathing in deep, holding in your breath and exhaling, make sure you check in with your body. Make sure your shoulders are still dropped. Make sure your face is kind of loose and hanging is what I call it, not tight like this. And then make sure you realign yourself by pulling that string up from the top of your head to the ceiling, and continue breathing throughout this actively. You might feel yourself get a little bit winded, lightheaded, feeling a little bit weird. That's okay, that's normal. If you're taking deep, long breaths inside and out, that's a pretty normal feeling to have. You can always stop and take a break if you need to, but continue breathing for a couple more breaths. As we wake our body up from the inside, warm up our internal organs, our soul, our mind. Just really breathing in all the good, positive, lovely things in life, and breathing out all the negative anxiety and depression and bad things that we feel. Breathe in all the good, clean oxygen. Make that fill up your lungs, expand your lungs, and then exhale it all out and let all of that stale air in your lungs be emptied. Emptied even further and further and further. And let's do 3 more breaths together in. Really make these last few breaths count with deep, deep inhales and holds, and then deep, deep exhales, pushing everything out. A couple more breaths. Join me on the last breath, wherever your flow finds it, right timing. Empty out all of your lungs. and wiggle out a little bit, and we can move on to our floor stretching exercises as we slowly get up. And then this is the part where I like to have people focus a little bit on self and self-love. And this is just a daily thing. So the breathing is kind of clearing out our mind, our energy, and then this part is self-love, reminding yourself that, you are alive another day, up and breathing. I like to remind myself of what I'm thankful for mentally while I'm doing these stretches, and things that I hope, the things that I pray for, things that I want to become reality. I imagine those and I envision those during this time. So we will start with a lying down position. As I'm thinking of what I'm thankful for, I'm rolling out my ankles, wiggling my toes, really getting my physical body warmed up for the day. Reminding myself that I am given another day. Not everyone gets this, and I'm going to use that day to really bring the best out of myself and others. I'm going to spread that love and positivity. I'm just moving the bottom half of my body, warming myself up as my thoughts just kind of wander. And I redirect my thoughts back into self-love, thankfulness. I envision that, I want a good future for my kids. I want the world to be a great place. I want this pandemic to end. I want great, awesome things for everyone around me, not just myself. So I'm just going to envision that. For me, that looks like I ask God for that. Whatever it looks like for you, let it be. But just envision it and ask your higher power, do what you do to make that vision become reality. Because daily, if you envision these things, they will become your reality. So then I warm up my wrists now, into the upper half of my body. Don't forget that daily hug that you give yourself as you're stretching out your shoulders and your arms. I curl in my knees to my chest. Give myself an even bigger hug. Squeeze down. And then I roll on up. And then I do my seated stretches. I always say this, but I'm like, the amount my body's cracking and the soreness I feel in the morning, and I'm only 31, I think that everyone could benefit from this regardless of, where you're at in life. So it really feels good to stretch out, get your hamstrings warmed up, bounce your legs up and down. Get a little butterfly stretch here. Twist it up a little bit and do a little glute stretch that I don't normally do, but hey, it's Thursday, why not, So, this feels really good. And remind yourself that every day this is going to look different, and if you've tuned in every day, you've seen that it has looked every different. So, do whatever you want that day. There are no rules here. Make it longer, shorter, meet yourself where you're at that day. Let go of any other pre-existing judgments or conditions that you felt that you had on yourself, and just really focus on warming up your body and your mind and your soul, and just setting yourself up for a great day ahead. To do a little seated stretch. And then I slowly roll up and get to a standing position. It's my way of just kind of indicating to my body and myself that I'm ready for the day. This is my favorite part, is you're going to soon know, and if you don't know already, I just love doing this. I do this all throughout the day, actually. Woo. So I just fold my arms like this, let them hang, let my head hang, just drop it. Let gravity do the work. You're not doing any work here, you're just hanging. And I really just hang it and let my vertebrae separate out all along the back of my neck. Give myself a baby shoulder neck rub, because it feels so good. We do carry a lot of tension, stress, anxiety, heavy things right here on the shoulders where our shoulder meets our neck. So if a lot of people have tightness or have cramping or pains there, no, that's why. It's specific on the right side, actually, is where a lot of people hold
stress, specifically stress. And so if you feel that tight, give yourself a nice little rub. Meet me here every day, every morning, to kind of work that tension out, get to the root of that. And then hang out for a little bit longer. And then when you're ready, slowly roll up. Add some neck rolls in. I typically feel a little bit lightheaded when that happens, when I roll up like that from being seated down. No, that's okay. Hold on to something, don't fall down, but know that that's okay. Oh, sweet. Rajesh. Awesome. Glad to hear that. I appreciate the feedback. Okay, so now that we've kind of warmed up our mind, body, our soul, our physical body's now awake and we're ready to do this, let's focus on our mantra of the day. This one's also really exciting to me. I mean, I guess they all kind of are, but I really like this one. It's called self-compassion. And so that's what you're going to focus on today, is self-compassion, loving yourself. And this directly ties into what I call the golden rule, or what's known as the golden rule. So it's do not do unto yourself what you would not do unto others. And this can actually be said two different ways. So you can say like the positive way or the negative way. So the negative way would be don't do unto others what you do not want to happen to yourself. The positive way would be, I guess a better way to say, treat others like you want to treat yourself. And then the negative way would be don't treat others how you don't want to be treated. And so this actually dates back to a long time ago, Confucian time, 500 BC, so 500 years before Christ. And it's universally, it ties everyone together. So the reason I say the history of it is because if something started that late and it is present all throughout history and is currently present, then there's some kind of value to that, in my opinion. And so all the different major, religions, beliefs, faiths, so Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, the Baha'i faith, Zoroastrianism, all of them actually believe in the golden rule, worded a little bit differently, but the idea of treating others how you want to be treated. And this does tie it back to self-compassion, and I'll eventually get there. But let me look at my notes for a second. Yeah, so the tying of all the faiths together, I think when there's something in life that ties that many different belief systems, that many different people, all of humanity together, I call them universal truths. And the reason is because everyone agrees that, yes, that's true. Treat others like you want to be treated. Treat your neighbor with love. Don't do something rude that you wouldn't want. Something you wouldn't do to other people to yourself. And so it ties everyone together. If all the beliefs, all the religions, all the faiths can kind of believe one thing, then I think it's something that we should practice as humanity, because it brings in our oneness. And during a time where I think that oneness, connectivity, and feeling that love is really needed, I think it's good to important to focus on the golden rule. So I wanted to share with you guys a story. So these mantras that I've created or kind of developed, I originally had created them for a Generous Adventures trip. So we have Generous Adventures, the coffee company, or Generous Coffee, the coffee company, and Generous Adventures was something that we offered last year in February of 2019. Shout out to my Generous Adventures crew. And we did these daily mantras every day, and self-compassion happened to be on the day when, so let me tell you the story. There was someone so we had the mantra in the morning, focused on self-compassion. It took a long time to get on the bus to get ready for the day. Someone couldn't find their cell phone, so they thought they may have left it at the hotel. They didn't know where it was. So after we'd all gotten on the bus, we were about to leave, she yells out, "Oh no, I forgot my cell phone." So she's looking, can't find it. She runs inside, can't find it. Looking through her bag, and eventually she finds it, buried down in some pocket somewhere, like we all do. And she was like, "Oh, I'm so stupid. I can't believe I did this. Like, I really apologize." She was apologizing to everyone, and everyone's like, "Oh, no big deal. 5, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. It really doesn't change your entire day, doesn't define that day for you." And at the end of the day, we're all here on an adventure, so it really didn't bother us, but it was interesting. And we pointed out to her, "Hey, by the way, today's self-compassion. So if someone else lost their cell phone and was kind of holding up the entire team, would you treat them and call them an idiot and call them dumb like you're calling yourself?" And she was like, "Oh my gosh, no, I would never do that." And so it was awesome how it all tied in, that it really does play in, or does really factor in the golden rule of don't treat others like you wouldn't treat yourself. Or let me reword that. Treat others like you would treat yourself. And so another example of that would be for me when I'm driving. Say if there's a car next to me and they want to get in front of me and I see them put on their blinker and I'm like at that spot where it's like, were you going to speed up? Are you going to slow down? I like to or want to be the person who all the time slows down and lets them in. Instead of speeding up and being like, oh, get behind me, I ain't got time for you right now. So that's another way, you'd want someone else to let you in something as simple of a traffic lane switch in traffic. You'd want someone to let you in. So do unto others as you would want to do to yourself. So let other people feel that self-love because that love will come back around to you. And so my call to action today, my challenge to you today is to go out of your way and show love for someone else. And a couple of examples of that, I gave you the whole traffic situation. Another one for me, I like whenever people compliment me on something very, 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 I guess, surface level, but say if they like my shirt, my shoes, my hair, my whatever it is that day, when I hear that compliment from someone, it makes me feel happy. I don't expect it. I don't need it. It's not part of life that has to happen, but it does definitely spark joy in me. So I challenge myself to do that, but I encourage everyone else to do that as well. And I think through this, one individual person doing one action can lead to big change, because if we all unify together as the individuals who do the one action, that's how we're going to see big change. That's how we're going to see the world that we want to live in. That's how we're going to see equality for all. And that's just going to bring in together the oneness of humanity that we all know exists, just takes active practice to bring out. I hope everyone enjoyed today. I hope you join me again tomorrow. It's Friday, day 5, so I encourage you to challenge a friend to come join us as well. And I hope you guys all have a joyful day. I hope you spread the love. I hope you receive the love. And I wish the best for everyone here. Namaste.